we are joined by Kennedy Allen, like a well-known voice in the Star Trek fandom, one of the co-founders, I believe, of the Woman in What podcast, a podcast that looks at issues of feminism and inclusion within Star Trek fandom. And Martin, I'm echoing now.
So there was always like that. The score always feels like a very fundamental part of my inner soundtrack, I guess, my inner score. But yeah, TNG was the one I was raised on. DS9 I knew was cool, but it was too over my head to really get. But you know, I was watching because Sirach Lofton. And then the Dominion War really popped off. So it just got compelling, but I knew at that time it was a little over my head. Voyager was the one that I really connected with. It was my preteen, you know, Voyager, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like that whole vibe was very formative for me. Enterprise, I had to develop an appreciation for because Enterprise.
And it's a long road. It's a long road as well.
But, you know, it's been a long road getting from here to here. And you know, we just kind of go from there. I started podcasting in 2011 with a show called Black Tribbles. Even though we were Trek in name, we were a geek at large podcast that talked about all types of, you know, geek culture through the lens of the Black perspective. Won a few awards, you know, it was cool. And that lasted for 10 years. However, I gotta say that I was not a founder of Women at Warp. I joined in year 6 for them.
Is it like 20? I feel like I saw a post in sort of 2020 in the summer saying that you were joining as like a full-time member of the team.
So I guested with them. We've done a couple of panels, like me and Sue. We had done a couple of panels previously, but like, you know, joining them was just first of all, what a well-oiled machine. If you want things to get done, put women and femme presenting people at the helm because it's going to get done. It was such a nurturing, structured, and for, you know, a neurospicy brain, that structure can be daunting, but this was gentle and made sense. So there was no, you know, it was just.
You didn't feel like there was that kind kind of competition against it. It was like, just let it be. Like,
and it was such a beautiful, make it so, engage, you know? Engage. It was such a welcome transition from being in a primarily male-dominated space and having to, you know, for years I was the only woman on that show. So I really had to assert my point of view and my experiences, not because they were toxic individuals, but, you know, toxic attachments can be formed to certain things, socially speaking, that if you don't have a well-rounded group around you, you're never going to be checked on that stuff. So I found myself having to be the one to check these well-meaning people on very serious things from time to time. So to step into a room of all women and femme-presenting individuals and not have to worry about that was just like, thank God. And it was just what I needed because I don't know if you all know about this, but like those people in the comments, they hate everything and they're just intent on ruining everybody else's day as well. And it's just, you know, it really came to a head with Discovery, you know, and I will be the first person to admit I was part of the problem, you know, like I was like, why are we going back in time? Spock never had a sibling. What is going on? Mushroom Drive, get out of here. It wasn't interested. And it wasn't until the quarantine that I had an opportunity to sit down and watch it. I also wasn't getting CBS All Access for one show. So I came in like right when the second season had ended and was floored by the lore, the world building, Sonequa
Blown away.
I'm trying to wash my mouth because it's Captain Michael Mother Effin Burnham. That's her full name. Just, you know, you must say the whole thing.
Legal
otherwise
name.
It's like a pimp named Slickback. You can't just say, you have to say the whole thing. A title more than a name.
An honorific.
Yeah, and I learned that, you know, I was wrong in everything that I had dug my heels in and really like kind of abandoned that nostalgic fandom parasocial ego that I think a lot of us have.
I think it's nice to kind of sit with that and deconstruct how you feel about these things as well, because you know what, and actually Star Trek not only welcomes that, but I think encourages many sort of like points where, you know, I remember I was listening to a couple of episodes of Women at Warp, and people were saying about the good stuff and also the negative stuff, you know, that you can pick out a bit of both. But the good stuff, it does give the opportunity for this kind of developing conversation and, you know, kind of deconstructing things that we, even as a fan base, have probably kind of come to understand and feel like we've got dead set on. It's like, actually, no, we can keep growing. We can keep getting better. Like, that's okay.
If you watch not just science fiction, right?